as humans would always love to travel. The idea of a journey itself carries a lot of memories from the past and new adventures from the future. But what if the journey is not a holiday kind of journey? Instead, it's a journey with a little or nothing to spare for a ticket. A journey which is illegal, a journey to get rid of homesickness, a journey far, far away from your country. How far or how weird can you get when you set yourself on such a journey to your homeland? This is Brian Robson from Britain, who has had one such weird kind of journey traveling almost halfway around the globe. Let's find out more about him and his unique journey. With no email or social media in 1965, Brian Robson lost touch with two of his friends who took part in a reckless scheme. Robson left Britain in 1964 when he was just 18 for a job as a ticket inspector for Victorian Railways in Melbourne, Australia. It sounded like an adventure to him in the beginning, but his long journey from his country, a dull job, difficulty to make friends made him homesick. He was soon plotting an escape. The Australian government had sponsored his trip, but his return journey had to be paid by him. Robson was only earning about £30 a month at that time, and each flight would cost him around £400. With no options left, he decided to ship himself back to his country, stow away on a ship, but failed. He ended up in a jail for 3 months. Yet, this didn't stop him. He said he got again inspiration to post myself from an ad for Pickford's, a moving company. It said, "We move anything, anywhere." He felt maybe they could move him too. Oh no! Robson purchased a crate that measured 36 by 30 by 38 inches, just large enough to sit with his knees pressed against his chest, and booked passage from Melbourne to Sydney to London. Two friends, both Irishmen working for Victorian Railways, decided to help him out and pretend he was a mainframe computer being packed. After almost an year's stay in Australia, Robson had given up hopes of working anymore. All now he wanted was to see himself back at home. Robson climbed into the crate with his supplies: a hammer, a suitcase, a pillow, a liter of water, a flashlight, a book of Beatles songs, and an empty bottle to pee.
Wait, what?
The journey of a crate, 10,000 miles and 5 days started. If all had gone according to the plan, he would have walked free around 36 hours later. Once loaded off the plane, Robson wanted to hammer out one side of the crate and walk home at night. There wasn't a great deal of security in London airport back then, as per Mr. Robson. After 36 hours, he was still in the crate. In Sydney, he was placed upright on the next flight, which instead of going to London was diverted to Los Angeles. Robson was going in and out of consciousness the whole time. He did feel that he might die on the journey, but had to wait even for that to happen. After more than 3 days, he heard the voice of someone about light shining out of a computer box. At some point while turning on his flashlight, maybe Mr. Robson might have dropped it. About 30 minutes later, a group rescued him when they found it's not a body but a man alive. Robson could not unravel his legs, had no control over his body at all. It took him several days to recover in a hospital in Los Angeles. He did not have any lasting physical damage though. One of the officials suspected the fact he was offloaded at LAX, which is what saved his life. While aviation experts stress that low oxygen and extreme temperatures make stowing away extremely dangerous, and that Mr. Robson was just lucky. Australian lawmakers let him go without taking any legal actions, while American authorities dropped charges of illegal entry after he confirmed his British nationality. After US officials decided he was not a threat, Pan American Airlines flew him home for free. The airline's flight was on its way to Britain that day rather than to Australia, and also the flight did have a vacancy to Britain. Call it luck or fate, Mr. Robson had so many things going his way. Two friends who helped him out to nail the box and set the journey. Low oxygen and other extreme temperatures are extremely dangerous, yet he survived. He did not have any lasting physical damage. His offloading at LAX a couple of days earlier made the difference. Australian lawmakers let him go without any legal actions. American authorities dropping charges of illegal entry. The airline's flight was on its way to Britain instead of Australia. The flight having a vacancy to Britain. All these extreme luck factors finally landed Mr. Robson in his homeland and can easily be termed as one of the great escape tales from yesteryears. Mr. Robson, who has written a soon-to-be-released book about his journey titled The Great Escape, is appealing to the world to help him find his two friends, Paul and John, who helped him. There were many more human male stories from the past, as security systems and laws of countries were lenient during those times, but some were lucky and some were not. Have you come across such weird journeys? Do mention in comments. Thanks for watching.